Breaking news. Government forced mortgage rates into the fives. What just happened, why it matters, and who should move now. All right, let's talk. Because something important just happened in the mortgage world, and most people still don't realize it. Mortgage rates are back in the fives. Not predictions. Not maybe later this year. Not theory. Right now. Real loans. Real people. And if you've been stuck in a mortgage you hate, or sitting on a rate that makes no sense, or waiting for a sign that things were finally changing, this is it. What just happened? For the last few years, mortgage rates were brutal. 7%, 7.5%, sometimes worse. People froze. Buyers stopped buying. Refinances disappeared. Everyone just waited and hoped. Then, almost quietly, the market shifted. Rates didn't drift down slowly. They dropped fast. And suddenly lenders started quoting rates in the fives again. That's not an accident. That's pressure. Why rates dropped, the real version. Here's the truth in plain English. Mortgage rates dropped because big money decided they were too high, and the government stepped in and helped push them lower. That's it. Mortgage rates aren't set by your lender. They're set by investors buying mortgage bonds. When investors want mortgages, rates fall. When they don't, rates rise. Recently, inflation-cooled bond markets relaxed. The government signaled massive support for mortgage bonds, and investors jumped back in. That combination forced pricing lower. Markets move faster than headlines. But the average is still around 6%. Stop. You're going to hear people say, well, the national average is still around 6%. So what? Averages include bad credit, risky borrowers, low down payments, ugly files. Averages don't pay mortgages. People do. If you have solid credit income equity, a clean file. You're not the average. That's why people are locking. 5.9%, 5.7%, mid-fives, even lower on certain programs. That's how rate cycles start. First, the qualified borrowers get relief. Then everyone else follows. Why the government got involved? Let's be honest. High mortgage rates break the economy. They freeze housing, construction, consumer spending, job mobility. When people can't move, can't buy, can't refinance, everything slows. So when the government talks about buying mortgage bonds, supports liquidity, pressures the bond market. That's not charity. That's damage control. And it worked. Why refinancing is back. Refinancing disappeared when rates went crazy. Now it's back. And here's why. Refinancing is not complicated. You refinance when your payment drops, your stress drops, your cash flow improves. That's it. Not emotion, not ego, just math. The big benefits of refinancing, straight talk. Benefit number 1, lower your payment. If you locked in when rates were high, 7%, 7.25%, 7.5%, dropping into the fives can save hundreds per month. That's real money. That's groceries, gas, savings, peace of mind. A 1% drop on a large loan is massive. Benefit number 2, debt consolidation, the reset button. Let's talk real life. Credit cards at 20%, 25%, 29%. That's not debt. That's financial suffocation. Rolling high interest debt into a mortgage doesn't erase it, but it stops the bleeding. If you're paying 22% interest and move it to the fives, your monthly life changes immediately. Rule. If you consolidate debt, you must stop using the cards. A refinance fixes numbers, not habits. Benefit number 3, pay off your house faster. Some people don't refinance to lower payments. They refinance to build wealth. Going from 30-year to 15-year, or shortening the term, yes, payment goes up, but interest paid drops dramatically. That's how people win long-term. Benefit number 4, stability. If you have an adjustable rate, anxiety payment, uncertainty, refinancing into a fixed rate buys peace. No surprises, no resets, no stress. For many people, that alone is worth it. Benefit number 5, strategic equity. Use. Sometimes refinancing isn't about survival. It's about strategy, things that can make sense. Renovations, buying out a partner, restructuring finances, building reserves. This has to be intentional, not emotional. Who should refinance right now? Let's be crystal clear. High priority. Anyone at 7% or higher. Anyone drowning in credit card debt. Anyone stressed about payments. Anyone with an arm. Anyone who bought in the last 2 to 3 years at peak rates. Medium priority. People in the mid-6s. Depends on loan size, costs, timeline, low priority. People already under 5.25% fixed, unless there's a debt or life reason. The toddler version. Should you refi? Here's how simple this really is. Ask one question. Does this save me real money fast? That's it. What's my current payment? What's my new payment? What does it cost? How long until it pays for itself? If savings cover costs in 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, and you're staying longer, Usually yes. If it takes 6 years, probably no. Common traps to avoid trap. Number 1. Chasing the lowest advertised rate. Low rate doesn't mean cheap loan. Always ask, what's the rate with 0 points? Trap. Number 2. Restarting the clock blindly. If you've already paid years on your loan, restarting a new 30-year may cost more long term. Sometimes the fix is same term, shorter term, extra principal trap. Number 3. Using refinancing as a crutch. If behavior doesn't change, debt comes back. Why this window matters. Rates don't move in straight lines. They move in windows. This is a window. It might stay open. It might close fast. Waiting for perfection is how people miss opportunity. You don't need the bottom. You need better. Close. Final word. Mortgage rates hitting the 5s is real news. It changes decisions. It changes lives. It brings refinancing back into play. If a refinance lowers your payment, reduces stress, improves your cash flow, and pays for itself, it's worth looking at. Not panicking. Not guessing. Just running the numbers. This is the first real break borrowers have had in years. Use it wisely.